Hi there, thank you so much for sending in your essay for correction, and I'm really sorry in the delay in getting this back to you. My name is Daphne, I'm one of the tutors at IELTSpodcast.com, and so I'm going to talk you through your corrections here. Oh my goodness, I think this is such a difficult task. I think I like this one. I like the bar chart and the pie charts. I think your essay is super tough. You've done a really good job. Let's look at this task one first. You've got a comparison between two pie charts and you've got a bar chart. So you've got a lot to talk about. The main problem, I think, is probably deciding which information to focus on. So you've done a nice overview at the beginning. You've told me here what you can see. The charts, for me, okay, you do say bar chart later on. Okay, the three charts show information from the World Car Organization, maybe capital letters there, about car ownership, which includes leased, bought and shared in England and Scotland in 95. And okay, as well as you could have here, just join it up. Or no, all right, okay. And the graph provides information about the number of sales of VW cars in the same countries between 1990 and 98. Okay, so that's fine. I just wanted to check that you are going to go on and tell me pie chart and tell me bar graph, which you do, which is perfect. So that's your introduction. Here you're going to give an overview. So overall, car purchases, I think you should put here rather than buying a car is a bit informal. Car purchases were more popular than were the most popular form of ownership. Sorry, the most popular form of ownership in both countries, especially in Scotland. As for VW owners in these countries, the number fluctuated over the years. Good. Over the total. The total was higher for Scotland than England. Okay, yeah, nice. So you've done exactly what you meant to there. That's great. So let's get into a bit more detail. The first pie chart. Now, do you mean the one on the left or the one on the right? Okay, maybe better just... I mean, I kind of get what you mean. I'm being pedantic here. The left-hand pie chart, you could say, shows that in England, the percentage of people who bought and leased a car was the same. You don't need to put brackets here. I would go the same at 35%, because those are important, these numbers. We don't need to hide them. While only a small proportion shared it. Yeah, okay. It referring back to car. Yeah, a small proportion, that is 15%. And I would just put shared. I don't think you need to put shared it, so I would take out that. Okay, and put your full stop there. On the other hand, the largest proportion, yes, I don't think you need on the other hand. I think you can just say go straight in there. The largest proportion of car owner. Okay, in Scotland, okay, Scotland demonstrates, or Scotland's witnessed the largest proportion of car ownership at 65%. Compared to, so nice comparison in there, compared to sharing and leasing at 20, yes, and 15 respectively. Yes, perfect. Good, we've got respectively in there, which is Ben's favourite word. Okay, so I'm just slightly changing it. I think you need to just restructure that a tiny bit. Okay, so turning on to the bar graph, so the bar graph illustrates that in 1990, sales of VW in Scotland, or VW sales in Scotland is cleaner, was approximately, now you need to do your numbers like this, 195,000 with a comma, not a full stop, whereas those in England, or compared to, those in England of 95,000. So, so total car sales in Scotland then dropped, excuse me, dropped in when? Next year, wasn't it 91, dropped to 91 before increasing steadily until 94, whilst, yeah, so if you have compared to there, you can have whilst here. Those in England stayed the same. In the next year, okay, do we mean 91 again? 91, but continuously decreased, but you could have but then continuously decreased until 95. In this year, the difference between the sales of VW in both countries was the largest. Good. Okay, difference between, you could say the disparity, if you want a fancy word, which means the difference. Good. Finally, in 97, 98, the gap between these, can we put here, narrowed to its smallest at 30,000. Okay, so you've got too many brackets going on. It's confusing. You don't need it because you're basically telling me facts. So all the information you've chosen to include is relevant. Okay, so that's right. You've got your smallest gap here and your largest gap here between the two of them. And you've got your trends coming down here and your trends there. So leveled off, decreased slightly, rose dramatically. Yeah, I think that's worth pointing out between 76 and 77. How many people got that in there? Yeah, it might be worth just commenting on that. Yeah, but you've done this nicely. So that would be my main comment. Just obviously write your numbers correctly here. Don't put so much stuff in brackets, and use as many comparative and superlative structures as you can, which you have done really nicely. You've done a good job comparing results there. So coming on to democracy. Democracy is one of its biggest threats since exception. Some argue that due to capital markets, the electorate's lost control of the government. Okay, very important word for me here in this essay is the electorate. And we need to keep referring back to that. So democracy has been struggling to survive over over the total period of its existence. I mean, it's such a big statement, you need to put something else here. Over the whole of its existence, or over the total entire, maybe you could have, period of its existence, because this is a long time. Global capital markets are considered by many as one of its greatest threats. Let's chuck in a few adjectives here. To make it more interesting, for one, and show more lexical resource. I personally do not agree with this statement because, in my opinion, the market or markets are a trading system that cannot directly harm politics. Okay, interesting. So go markets plural. This essay will discuss such issues and examples from Greece to support the arguments. Okay, good, very nice, strong intro. Firstly, markets. Okay. Now, global markets, it's okay to repeat this. Yeah, global markets or capital markets are a system that enables, I put enables instead of facilitates, people, corporates or countries to trade goods or stocks, thereby providing income. Just don't go it can, just go thereby, I'll keep thereby, I like that. Don't go it can, just go providing, ing, income. However, democratic systems and values may be harmed. So I'm putting in here, maybe democratic systems and values may be harmed by the way, so may be harmed, and then here, by the way, governments spend the money they receive, okay, from these markets. Yeah. I think this is a better way to put it. I'm not sure you're helping yourself starting with what can be. It's a difficult structure. I would avoid it. For example, the governments of Greece corrupted the debt provided by national companies. Okay. Corruption by the government of Greece. I don't think the government can corrupt something, but corruption within the government of Greece destroyed the debt or it increased the debt, didn't it? Dramatically increased the debt or the aid provided by multinational companies. The situation resulted in bankruptcy, loss of trust, citizens' loss of trust for their government, and triggered global crisis in market confidence. You could put here. Okay, but and then I would put, I like your conclusion to that paragraph. Therefore, without doubt, it was corruption, not the market, that ruined democracy. In this, yeah. Okay, strong paragraph, well argued. What I've tried to put in is things which will help your coherence, and just upgrade the vocabulary somewhat. Secondly, markets need a conducive political situation in order to run smoothly. Okay, conducive, and can we put another word in here? And just to kind of show exactly what you mean. User-friendly, but we need a high-level version of that. In a democratic nation, governments hold an electoral mandate, which means that governments have an electoral mandate, meaning they hold, yes, or they are entrusted with, hold the trust of their citizens. Okay? Therefore, instead of threatening this trust, you could repeat that. Markets. Threatening it. Okay. So you mean democracy by it, don't you? Instead of threatening it, markets are supported by democracy. Okay, all right, I like that. Okay, I'm with you now. Sorry. For instance, after bankruptcy, you don't need the stock exchanges and then you don't need the stock exchanges in Greece, or Greek stock exchanges collapsed because local corporates no longer. Okay, don't want to invest there since they were no longer. Okay, local corporates no longer have the confidence to invest within them, something like that. This is a lot of words. You could just cut the number of words and make it a bit more sophisticated, which would help, again, your coherence. You can see they're quite long sentences, so I'm finding it a bit hard to follow. This example shows how democracy in the form of trust, in form of the people's trust in their government is essential for markets. Okay? You've done a really good job here. This is complicated and you are arguing it very well. In conclusion, from the above-mentioned explanations and examples, I firmly believe that a market is that global markets, or can we think of another way? Not repeating market, although it is difficult. I would say global trading markets are systems that are influenced by the political situation and not vice versa. Okay, well done. You've done a good job here. I'm really impressed by the way you've handled this tricky argument. You have referred to the electorate, which is what we wanted you to do. That's brilliant. So all in all, I think you've done well. Task achievement, yes, absolutely. Coherence, I have a few little issues with the coherence, just because I think it's quite a complicated structure. I think you can help that by just adding in some connecting words, and also this kind of leads on to Lexis, to the language you're using, just maybe sometimes not so many words. So word formation, so making nouns into verbs into nouns, just which will help your coherence a little bit. Grammatically, it's looking strong. You've used some good structures there. So really well done. Thank you very much.